Hey guys, it's AutoSave, season 3, episode 7. I have
Do I have marker on my face?
I think you're good.
I was just so into that. I don't know what I was doing with myself. My body and my limbs.
I felt so much, and I don't know what or why. Holy shit, the two moments of Aaron talking and giving his reasoning and saying that like he was a mistake, and the voice acting, and then Historia's whole action and speech there. Those two moments have to be two of, if not the best moments in this entire series. And it was all done with dialogue and music and voice acting, and holy fuck, dude.
And Historia was basically like, screw anyone who tried to decide our fates for us.
Yeah.
Like, you got injected by your dad without your consent, and he got you in this mess. And now my dad's trying to inject me without me fully understanding and grasping what the hell is happening here, and why have you not exterminated Titans all this time? Why are you not saving humanity?
I love Historia, dude. That, like, as a character, I adore her. Like, period. I am very confused and concerned. Like,
Same. Like, what was the right move here? Like, what?
Yeah.
Is it actually good for her to say that she's the enemy of humanity? Like, is the enemy of humanity someone who doesn't
exterminate the Titans? Who the hell wants to do that bullshit? I mean, everybody in the show wants to do that bullshit. I'm starting to hate humanity. Humanity fucking sucks, dude. I'm fucking with her in this line. I'm not saying to the extent of not killing the Titans, but Rod and the whole cycle, right, is a perfect example of why humanity sucks.
Another reason, the perfect example of why humanity sucks is we know that you're not exterminating Titans. Monsters that magically showed up. You're exterminating people that turned into that. Why are you not trying to find a cure?
Yeah.
Why are you not trying to save those people? Connie's family. Like,
well,
why would that's just killing, killing and killing and killing and killing and killing.
Well, and that's the interesting thing, because that, like, you know how sometimes when you're, like, watching a show and you are feeling the character and feeling the lines, and you almost feel like you know what the next line's gonna be? Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that it was gonna be like, let's find another way.
Yeah.
Like, that isn't putting ourselves down to the level of me eating you. Let's find another way to do it. And no, that didn't fucking happen.
Together.
Yeah, that didn't happen. I'm humanity's biggest enemy. Like, got it, I'm the worst girl who ever lived. And I love that line, because wouldn't the person who decides not to get rid of the Titans forever be the worst girl who ever lived?
And it just goes so well with her being like, I want to be like you, Frida, to Frida.
Yeah.
And Frida was like, I try to be a person that makes everyone happy and is nice and kind. And Historia is just like, F all of these boxes that everyone keeps putting me in, because even when I get into those boxes, people still fucking leave me or upset me or try to take advantage of me or try to get me into a different box next. Like, the only person, obviously, except for that interaction that Aaron and Historia had after we learned that she was Historia, the only person who ever cared about Historia ever getting what Historia wanted, or her not having to live with expectations, is Ymir. Mm-hmm. And that is why Ymir is the person that she remembers in this time. Like, she remembers Frida, but Frida was putting her in a box, technically.
Yeah.
A box to be this nice, sweet girl that helps people. And what did Reese mean when he was like, when he said that Frida would have exterminated all of the Titans? Did you get that line?
Yeah.
Was that just a lie?
I don't know.
Because then he says later that once you get the power, you don't want to do it anymore?
Well, was he saying that Frida said that she was going to do it before she got the power?
I'm not sure, because he said it at the very beginning when he was trying to explain to Historia that Aaron's dad was evil and that Frida would have gotten them out of this mess and that Aaron's dad's the reason all of this happened.
Where?
If Frida had just used her power, we might have eliminated Titans from this world entirely. But you don't want that, apparently.
If only his father hadn't stole the power from her. Where was the first line about it, you were saying?
No, that's basically the line that I'm talking about.
Like, I thought that there was another line saying that, like...
He said...
You're right,
yeah.
now.
So, like, is this a lie here where he's saying that Frida would have used her power to get rid of all Titans, but then later on he's saying, no, once you get the power, you become like God, and you realize that we all need to stay like this, and he's not gonna fund the scouts, like...
Let's see, where was the other, family member, his dad?
His dad and then his little brother.
Yeah, where was that at?
So that means his little brother ate his dad? I love how their eyes change, though.
Oh my god, yeah.
Afterwards.
Pleaded with the father to free humanity from the Titans. I would love to see what they're reading in all of the pictures, because that looks like a sky, and I love skies. He would not fulfill our wish. Came down for my father to pass on that role. When my brother inherited the power of Titans, and I looked into his eyes, I understood what that meant.
And then we see that same look in the brother as he's older when Frida's eating him.
Mm-hmm.
An omnipotent being
is to be what my brother be. So, like...
But they don't share with everyone else. They're the keepers. How do you know they're not just gone crazy? Since they're not sharing why their reasoning for not exterminating all the Titans.
There has to be a mighty fucking good reason.
Yeah, like, they're not sharing. You don't know. You're just like, I just trust that they were omnipotent and they knew things that I didn't know and they were the keepers of history. And I'm like, well, how do you know that shot didn't just make them go bonkers?
Well, it to me, I'm like, it has to be a reason other than pure selfishness. Unless it changes the kind of person you are. Because what is a reason that would make you want to keep the walls and the Titans outside of them?
Oh, if I keep... It's more like that. If I keep them here, then they're all my children. And I am the... it's like wanting to keep what's yours.
But, like, basically. Why would somebody with the memory of someone doing that change their tune and...
I don't know. I mean, once you have all that memory of how peaceful and safe they've been in your arms for all of these years and how you saved them all, you'd have like a big savior complex to the point where you're like, I'll just keep them all safe.
Yes, you're right. That could totally be it. But like, but what's another reason? Just like fun thinking. Like,
I don't know. I'm really good at fun thinking normally, but
there's so much information.
I think that this kind of killed my brain to try to think of like what I think I said at the beginning of this episode, that I was worried and apprehensive that what if the story went somewhere that I didn't, or a truth came out that I didn't feel good about. And at the moment, it's like one of those things where it's like, oh my god, like I think we kind of got some amount of truth, but not the whole thing. And I'm like, wait, so what? Is it good or bad? Is the truth good or bad? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Historia doing this at the end good or bad?
So...
And good or bad to who? Because I'm sure it would change depending on the person you asked in the
Founding
universe.
Titan. That's a fucking name.
The memories of this world. So only a full Reese bloodline person. What was Kenny on when he was like, so I don't get to eat Aaron? I was like, wait, what happened? Where did this come from? Did you think you could? What?
No, Kenny wanted to be king. Kenny wanted it. Okay, so
was Kenny's plan to just become king here until he found out that he couldn't wield the power?
Seems fully? Like it. Did Hanji die? I'm very confused. So what's this shot? What's the shot?
If she's dead, then I just did not get the feeling during the episode. Because it was just too, like, bam, 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 bam.
But the same with Petra.
Petra was very bam, bam. You're right.
So what's the shot?
What shot?
The shot that was
what they're injecting? Isn't it spinal fluid from, like... I guess it would be someone in the bloodline. Maybe it couldn't have been Frida, right? Maybe they take some just to have it, just in case, of like whoever's the next founding Titan.
Well, where do we see the syringe first?
He gets it out of the bag after we all barge in and start fighting. And I was like, wow, look at that doctor bag.
Did he get it out?
It's really familiar.
He actually already had it out.
Oh, so maybe he does it like at the very beginning. I don't like this man, Rod Reese. I kind of liked him for a second because I thought maybe he's like a really good father. And like maybe he is. But I'm also like, I don't know if you're just brainwashed, if you're like, I don't know.
So like, is it just the syringe to turn someone into a Titan? It's nothing. It's just that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he licks that to turn into a Titan? Because didn't Kenny have the line that was like, why don't you turn into a Titan?
Mm-hmm. He didn't want to, right? I don't remember why he didn't want to.
Because of his age, maybe?
Or maybe he just didn't want to have to, like, be the person that did it and he'd rather tell other people to.
God, there's so much information.
Who is trash and who is not trash? Also, does this mean that since Aaron's dad was like, avenge your mother, does this mean he purely, that's a reason he would have stolen it. If you just learned that the walls that contain your wife and son while you were gone doing a doctor thing were just broken down by Titans and that your wife died and you knew about the power of
He
Titans.
did it before the walls were broken down.
Did he?
I think so.
I thought he did it like... Well, he had just gotten the syringe like a couple days later because he goes to get Aaron to give it to him.
Yeah.
After the walls have already been broken. So I'm saying timeline-wise, did he find out about it? And he did it to avenge Aaron's mother.
That's a good question.
So his driving force was, if you had the power to stop Titans, why did you let them break through the walls and kill my wife?
Yeah. That would make a lot of sense, actually. I just thought that the trip that he left on before the wall was to do this.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking it was actually a doctor trip.
Okay.
Whatever doctors do on their trips, I assume treat people.
I mean, okay, his dad stole it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? If I found out that somebody had the power to stop Titans existing and for 100 years have chosen not to do that,
you wouldn't even want to hear an explanation.
I would go try to steal it.
You'd be like, yeah, so what about your omnipotent whatever? They don't want to do it anymore because they have like all knowledge of history. I don't care because you let my wife die.
I mean, like, let's look at the parallels, right? So Rod wants Historia to become a Titan and then eat Aaron, who has the ability to become a Titan. So that would make her human again. Also with, like, the power of the memories. Aaron's dad, let's say he did not know that only the Rice family...
Because Kenny didn't seem to know.
Yes.
So it probably isn't common knowledge.
Yeah, if he did not know that, then he would have the power to be a Titan, which still don't fucking know what the fuck's up with that. And then he would turn Aaron into a Titan with this, and then, like, he would want Aaron to do that, right?
Also, do we believe Rod in general, though? That it has to be someone of the bloodline to actually fully use it? Do we believe him? Because I don't know how much I believe is him or a brainwash. He was told this information and or he thinks that this is the best stuff to say. It
has to be, to a degree, true. Because if it wasn't, like, it seems instantaneous.
It could be true to him. It could be true to him.
No. I'm saying that it has to be true to some degree because if every other person who did this in the Rice family instantly knew the memories and then decided not to use it for any to keep the world going as it is, but that didn't happen to Aaron.
But what if him and Historia just hold hands all the time?
I don't know if that's a thing. Is that a thing?
Well, he started seeing memories when she touched him.
Yeah.
So what if
Aaron also had inklings, how did I know that?
He would get premonitions about things.
Yeah.
And if he gets to the basement, everything will make sense.
So people could have the memory, have Like Eren
Yeah, maybe
could.
it just needs to be triggered. It needs to be like.
Are they going to
jogged
do
out.
that?
Are they going to?
Yeah.
I would assume yes, because it doesn't seem like Historia plans on eating him anymore. And so obviously the power is staying within Eren and the memories are staying within him.
Yeah.
So I guess that their next step is going to be trying to figure out what those memories are and why no one has tried to exterminate Titans for
That's dangerous,
hundreds of years.
That's dangerous because you don't know their reason. What is their reason? Okay, so I know I already asked that, and I know there's no way for us to figure it out. But okay, if they just wanted control, right? Like they don't want to erase the Titans. Is it like they have enemies? The Titans keep them at bay.
Okay, because you see, you're okay. Do you remember the shot of the female Titan screaming?
Yeah.
And all those people?
Yes.
Was that like a summons? Like all the people traveled to this one location. Do you think it was like their idea to travel, or was it the scream kind of being like, "Come here, my children," like some creepy "I will protect you," and because it's like the power of the Titan reached out to touch people's hearts and alter their memories. Twisted. Doesn't it sound a little bit like she just gathered a gaggle of people and made them come to her?
Perhaps, yeah.
So I'm like, what if those people didn't even consent to wanting to be within the walls?
I think
they're more just kept there. They were convinced through control methods and altering memories. Yes, come within our walls. It's all creepy. It's creepy. Feeling really creepy.
But okay, why?
Because they thought they were omnipotent. They thought they were God.
Yeah,
If you think you're God, then you think that you can decide how people live their lives.
I understand why the Walls think the way that they do. The Walls were given by gods. The Titans looked at as a god.
Technically, if they think of the founding Titan sounds like founding father. The founding Titan is the one that created the Walls. Obviously, to them, if they think of the founding Titan as God, then they think that God created the Walls. It all makes sense now. And the founding Titan made people turn into Titans to become in the Walls or something like that. It's so weird. I don't understand. Weird in a good way, obviously, because it's a story and it's
But then, where are Berthold, Annie, Reiner, and Ymir coming from, right? Like, where is are they lineage that also didn't forget? Or, because Erwin said he came from a different town. Like, is there, a enemy civilization who this founding person...
Or they're people who fled from breaking free of the altering memories and getting out of there and are trying to figure out how to liberate humanity.
That's a good... they had lineage, or they had, they had someone... who had broken free, and they're trying to get this.
Yeah.
Because this is the only true way to end it, right?
Mm-hmm. But then it's so weird because obviously Reiner and Berthold's language was that they came to kill humanity. But I'm like, but that doesn't hold up fully because then you left thinking it was enough to take Eren with you. So is it just another group of people who want the power to control people?
Yeah, it's another, yeah.
Instead of liberate them, they just want, it's like warring powers of, I want to be in charge of everyone. No, I want to be in charge of everyone.
Well, because they called Eren the coordinate, right? Mm-hmm. And they said they needed Historia too, right? They said that the Historia was the next best thing.
Yeah, they could totally have use for her as well.
And... So they would have the two things needed to have control over people again, if they had gotten away with Historia and Eren. Mm-hmm. So they
also the way to exterminate.
How did they have the knowledge of that? Where did they knew that, and they wanted to wipe out everybody within this civilization?
Or did they come to kill humanity in order to get humanity to wake up and fight for themselves? Was it I'm going to be a threat to you because you're not going to listen any other way?
Maybe.
I want to know why no one's trying to figure out how to turn people back into
Me too.
Back into humans, other than eating someone.
Oh, anybody?
Yeah.
Well, because it's new information, right?
Well, not to royal people.
Very true.
And we saw that they were just willy-nilly using it to knock people they didn't like off of the walls, like Ymir and her little group
That
of
was
people.
somewhere else, though.
I know, but I'm saying, like, people... These are people. These Titans were people.
I mean,
why are we not
it's
just trying to save everyone?
If you're a person in charge, it's kind of the ultimate quote-unquote prison method, right? Either execute people or turn them into Titans and throw them off a wall.
And then what do you get from that? You get to keep everyone else inside the walls and relying on you. Because there is a common threat that keeps you all united.
God damn, there's so much here.
So whoever this first founding person was...
Founding Titan.
I don't like them. They are not good.
Yeah. Okay.
After we all barge in, start fighting. After we all barge in, start fighting. After we all barge in, start fighting.
After we all barge in, start fighting.